Spring weather in Utah is strange. Sometimes it snows, twirling and twisting in the air, making the mountains disappear. It almost feels like you're suspended in a cloud, distant from the world below. An hour later, the sun can shine like nothing happened. The sky lights up in color, surging with a new spring energy. The mountains twinkle, bigger than life. In their shadow, a new perspective can be gained, admiring rather than fearing how small we are compared to these peaks. Since returning back home because of the coronavirus pandemic, isolation and grief have followed me around. But a small ray of light has emerged from the storm clouds, the gift of time. No longer under the suffocating weight of GPAs and summer internships, I can immerse myself in untapped passions, dreams that have always been put on the back burner. When I'm not doing online schoolwork, I'm exploring the terrain around my new home. Regular hikes help me look beyond the dark skies, positioning myself above the metaphoric gloom. The heaviness of the situation seems to shed away in the sun, while exploring the different terrain with my family. I also finally have the time to start a garden with my mom, which has been a dream for years. In the cold, we tenderly cared for the seeds and then small sprouts as we waited for the warmth of summer to plant them outside. It has become a way to mark time in an era where days seem to blend together. This is also the first time in years that the whole family is under the same roof for more than a couple days during the holidays. With few responsibilities, we finally have time to play Jenga as a family, reveling in the glow of my mom's face when she wins. And she always wins. Catan has become a way to channel some of our pent-up energy, quickly becoming a messy affair. We finally have time to cook, trying new recipes just for the sake of diversity. We each take on a role, chopping the vegetables and manning the stove. One time, we even made our own ice cream by rolling a ball filled with ice. To flavor the cream, we used my fresh mint from the new garden. We finally have time to enjoy the camaraderie of dinner time, of stories around the table hours after we finished eating. Sometimes dinners were light and fun. Other times, the stress of the outside world seeped in. One night, my dad announced that he might be sent back to work in the hospitals in New York City. In that moment, a general heaviness descended upon the family that was hard to shake off. But we tried to shake it off. We gathered around the bonfire, snuggled up against the cold. I finally had time to listen to my little sister practice the flute, playing my favorite pieces just because she can. Most of all, we finally have time to celebrate the Jewish traditions as a family that defined my childhood. For the first time in years, we made challah from scratch in anticipation for Shabbat, and we spent evenings singing prayer around lit candles, feeling more connected than we had in years. When early April rolled around, we prepared for Passover. After hours of chopping, stirring, and baking, we all sat around the table. My little sister sang the 5 questions while we laid against pillows, remembering the plight of our ancestors. The table was smaller this year, but no less joyful. We called grandparents in Florida and Virginia, cousins in Connecticut and Indiana. We kept with the traditions of Passover, maintaining some sense of normality during a tumultuous time. However, we also made an addition. This year, we included a prayer for everyone affected by the coronavirus. The healthcare workers, the elderly isolated for their safety, the delivery men and women who risked their lives. It's these small moments that have made quarantine tolerable. With time, even during the darkest storms, the sun pokes out eventually.